Oh yeah, 90 seconds. That's hilarious. So the 90 seconds, Mimi just shared that she shared this in her horoscope today, and you should all check out Mimi Clark at oh my God, Guy, why am I not Guy Blooming? Oh my gosh, Mimi, you gotta help me with this. But yes, this 90 seconds, a good friend of mine actually taught me this a couple of years ago when I was having a really hard time moving these emotions while I was in public with people. I was trying to have dinner, I was trying to have a conversation. And at that time, I didn't understand that I could just kind of go deeper and allow spirit to move through me. And so I was having um, some of these bigger, like, feelings around this. And she was like, I've learned that if I just give something 90 seconds, like it will move through me. And so, since I received that piece of wisdom, I've always shared that piece of wisdom because it really does work. And of course, those 90 seconds can feel like, 75 years, but there is a sense of like waterfall and a release that happens just from giving it the time and also just letting it go, also being done with it when the moment passes. So thank you for that confirmation out there. So we're being encouraged from spirit to no longer voice a problem if we are not willing to discover a solution. That otherwise we're just staying endlessly in a victim martyr spiral. And it brings to mind a time in 2012 where spirit said to me that I needed to ask people before working on them, are you ready to heal? And spirit said, they can't say sure, they can't say yeah. Like if it was not a yes, it was a no. And I remember being like, well, that's kind of a lot, like spirit, and spirit's like, no, it's very serious now. Like people need to be ready to heal. And definitely there are people out there who still need to kind of circle that drain and to voice that problem without discovering a solution. But we all know that when you're around that type of energy for a very long time, it begins to even drain those around us. And so we're really encouraged right now to stay above this victim martyr spiral and to not voice a problem without just having the willingness to discover the solution. And that doesn't mean we need to be like fix oriented or that we need to suppress the emotions that are coming up. It just means not from spirit's perspective, kind of wallowing in it and creating an identity from that. Spirit said that problems voiced without the willingness for a solution will create a swamp of discontent in this new energy. And that does not sound delightful to me. I've been to some swamps of discontent. So we're encouraged instead to shift our complaints to observations. And this is something that came up in the maternal line of my family when we realized we were all complaining all the time. And we decided to turn our complaints into observations. And it's very amusing when you start turning your complaints into observations. It becomes quite humorous. And it also shifts the frequency and the energy. So that is something that spirit offers here, to shift complaints to observations and expectations to preferences. And this was a wisdom that came through a moon circle that a friend of mine hosted several months ago, where it came through from spirit that expectations lead to suffering and disappointment. And if we can change or shift our expectations to having preferences, preferences let the multiverse know what our will and our intent is, but yet it allows space for actually what is highest and best to take place. So we're no longer blocking the energy. Um, there was a question here, and this kind of feels like I'm moving from one piece to the next, but spirit had me link this in the reading. And the first part is in all capital letters, you are protected, period, no matter what. And the question was, how do we stay out of these weaponized fourth dimensional or lower vibrations? And all I heard from spirit in that moment was, floor is lava. And my daughter plays this all the time with parkour, where you can't touch the ground. And I played it a ton as a kid. I don't know if you did as well, but you were not allowed to touch the floor, or of course, you were on fire. And here, spirit is speaking to that as a lower vibration. The floor is lava, being that soup of energies that has been created. but if we are staying in tune with what our body needs, and specifically our light body, if we can be in meditation with that, through whatever form feels good to us each day, that is going to help us always be above this victim martyr weave, and also these weaponized vibrations or these weaponized frequencies. And the reference here, Spirit said that we are maintaining our vibration and our high energy frequency, which allows us to rise above any distortions in our physical environment. This is health at every level: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And so we're coming out of this time of healing where we may have had, some emotional issues or some mental stuff come up, or maybe we've had some severe physical problems, or been, dealing with multiple timelines that aren't making sense to our human self. All of these are now integrating so that we begin to experience health at every level. And we also have to stay above fear and remember that we are protected. There's always that line: no weapon formed against the Christ shall ever prosper. So we remember that, and that allows us to kind of stay out of that lava zone, and more in our hearts and souls, which are going to allow us to fully co-create what we came here to create.